Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Action Figure Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Spider-Man Edge of Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen 6-inch figure. This is something I've been wanting for a very long time. It's been extremely difficult to find in stores. Finally, I lucked out through HasbroToyShop.com and got me one for $19.99. Here it is, packaging very similar to all the other Marvel Legends from the last year or so. You can see the figure prominently displayed within, along with all of her accessories. Side of the box gives us a look there at Spider-Gwen in action. Opposite side shows us Gwen with her hood down. And at the back, we get some information about other figures available in this line, none of which I am interested in buying. I just wanted Gwen. And we do get a description here of the figure up top. And it says, when radioactive spiders are turned loose in the lab, these scientists obtain web-slinging superpowers. So this is kind of like an alternate universe type thing. I'm not really too big on that sort of thing, honestly. I don't really buy Marvel Legends if they're not from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I just really like the design. I think that it looks awesome. And, the whole idea of Spider-Gwen is kind of silly, the way that she basically takes Peter Parker's place. A friend of mine refers to these as stoner comics because of the stories. They're just so crazy. But I really wanted to get Gwen, love the design, and I'm going to go and get her open, and we'll take a closer look and see what she's like. All right, you guys, and here's Gwen out of the packaging, and it looks really good. Now, I will say that she is quite difficult to stand. Her feet don't have a whole lot of surface area, and as you can see, she's a very narrow figure, which oftentimes are a little more difficult to stand. Proportions on the figure, of course, she is very narrow and very comic book-like, so, you can expect somewhat exaggerated features on her and a very narrow, unrealistic waist, but it still looks pretty good. Coloration, for the most part, is pretty simple. Basically, you're just getting black and white with a little bit of extra coloring, even if it's not quite as elaborate as Spider-Man. Give you a close-up here of Gwen's masked head. And as you can see, it looks very much like Spider-Man, of course, except for there being some differences. She's got the hoodie on, and the coloration's different. There's a little bit of red on the inside. You can see the webbing design. It has like some blue in there as well, like for the actual stripes. But she has pink around her eyes because I guess since she's a girl, she has to love pink, right? Yeah. It still looks good. Again, I really do like the design, and I think that the combination of the colors here, the black, the white, then like that red inside the hood, and then the blue striping, which you also see inside her arms right there, look really good. And then you get a little bit of extra blue here on her feet. And I think that looks really cool. It just seems like a very nice mixture of coloration. So again, I really think it's a very cool design. The body itself, once again, very narrow, very thin. She's got some pretty good abs right there. Her features are a little bit exaggerated. Yeah, I don't know if that was completely necessary, but she's supposed to be a teenager, right? So yeah, that's male comic book illustrators for you. The rest of the outfit, though, does look good. You can see that it doesn't have this whole spider web sort of design like Spider-Man's costume does. Instead, it's mostly black. And I like it. I mean, it's not as elaborate as Spider-Man, of course, but it's different, and it still incorporates some of the Spider-Man classic design. So I'm really happy with the aesthetics of the figure. I just think that all in all, it looks very, very nice. So in terms of articulation, and the hood does come off. We'll look at that in just a moment, but you do get a ball joint here at the head, so you can move it around decently. She's got ball joints at both of these shoulders, and they're unobstructed. They move very nicely. She's got ball joints at both of her elbows. You have ball hinging at both of the wrists, so you can move them in and out and spin them around. Same with the right hand, which she has a net launching hand on this one, and it works very well. She's got a ball joint here at the upper torso, ball hinging at both of the hips. She does an okay split, doesn't go up all the way, but goes up enough. She's got cuts at both of the thighs, and those do move very easily. Double bends at both of the knees, and very good movement there. And then hinging at both of the ankles, along with rocker swivels. So very good articulation for the most part on this figure. So I mentioned that the head does come off, and it does. Basically, you're just going to grab it. And it's a little tricky to do because, there you go, and the head's off. And here it is right here. We can put the head on there without the hood, but the hood does sort of need to be down. So Hasbro included this little piece right here. It's basically her hood being down in the down position. And you just slide it over the neck like that. And then we'll go ahead and plug in her head. So there you go. Now she's got her hood down. And that's really cool. I'm glad that they included that. You also get her Gwen Stacy head, which doesn't this look a lot like Emma Stone? It really does. Hasbro really had to have taken inspiration from that character depiction in the Amazing Spider-Man films. And maybe they even had like an Emma Stone figure that they were going to release during the Amazing Spider-Man Marvel Legends figures, and they just never got around to it. Maybe they still had that head lying around and they decided to go ahead and use it for this figure. It's possible. I really don't know, but it does look like Emma Stone. And it's a nice looking head. The hair is nicely sculpted, nice texture to it. Basically, it's just blonde. She's got a little headband on her head. And the makeup is very nicely painted. Her eyes look fantastic, very nice. Vibrant shade of blue. The lips look very nice, very clean paint. Eyebrows are darker coloration. And it just looks really good. I'm really happy with the way that this alternate Gwen Stacy head looks. So to get it back on, as you're going to imagine, we're just going to pull that head off, and then we're going to put Gwen's head on here instead. Just like that. And now we have our Emma Stone Gwen Stacy figure, which I really, really like. And the head is a little bit big for the body. I mean, let's be honest, it's a little bit big. And that kind of lends a little bit of credibility to my theory. I think that maybe they sculpted this head for a possible Gwen Stacy figure in the 6-inch line that they never got around to back when they were doing the Amazing Spider-Man figures. It just looks a little bit big, but it still looks cool, and it is nice to have this alternate head, even though the figure obviously looks better with just the regular Spider-Gwen head. It's really nice to have these options. You also get this wrecking ball type thing here that comes with the figure. That way you can collect all of the series and then build Absorbing Man. It's one of his accessories. There's not a whole lot to it. It spins like that, but that's really all you're getting. It's pretty big, and unless you're going to build Absorbing Man, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of use for this. That came in like a wrecking ball. And then just a quick comparison here of Spider-Gwen along with the Marvel Legends Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man figure. And as you can see, Gwen's a little bit shorter than Spider-Man, but it's still quite cool seeing both of these figures together. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man Edge of Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen 6-inch scale figure. All in all, it's a pretty good figure. I was really excited to get this, but I will be honest in that it's not quite as good as I was expecting. Not because they don't give you enough accessories. I think that they do give you quite a few accessories, but the figure is just a little harder to stand than I was hoping, and doesn't feel quite as sturdy as a lot of the Marvel Legends 6-inch figures do. I still like it. I think it's a fantastic character design. I'm a huge fan of that. I just don't think it transferred 100% to action figure form the way that I expected it to. I still really like it. I still think that it's got a very nice sculpt and has really good paint for the most part. And again, I really do like the combination of the colors that were employed into this design. I think that the inclusion of the lowered hood is a very nice touch, and of course the Gwen Stacy head is also very nice. I like it quite a bit. It just doesn't look 100% on the figure since it is a little bit big for this figure's body. But all in all, I think that this is a very nice figure. Hasbro has certainly undermined the popularity of this character since the figure is near impossible to get and is only packed at 1 per case, and I think each case has like 12 different figures, which is pretty crazy. So of course she's going to be very limited. And even though I don't think it is the most spectacular figure, it still is a decent figure and very much one that I like a lot strictly because of the uniqueness of the design and the fact that this is the only Spider-Gwen figure. I wouldn't mind seeing a company, perhaps like Figuarts, tackle a version of Spider-Gwen. But all things considered, if you're a fan of Spider-Gwen as a character and you like the character design, I highly recommend that you get this figure because again, there's no telling when or if we will ever get another figure of her. And even though I might not be the biggest fan of the execution of the figure itself, I still think it's awesome to have Spider-Gwen in my collection as a 6-inch action figure. And I particularly love the Emma Stone head. I think it's just great. Alright my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, then I do encourage you to please like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the 6-inch Spider-Gwen figure, whether or not this is something you would like to add to your collection. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time my friends, bye bye.